Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Nursing with Ingrid. I just want to say thank you very much once again to all my new subscribers. Thank you for everybody that's been watching and supporting this channel. I truly appreciate it. I'd also like to say at this point, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And I'm just so excited about today's topic because it is my favorite, and I'm going to be talking about my experience in Saudi Arabia. So in 2005, like I said in my videos, one of the videos I did previously, I'd applied to Saudi Arabia, and it was a little bit difficult trying to get a placement or trying to get a job overseas. And I did that via Symbiosis. I would highly recommend them because they are very, very, very meticulous. They are well known, they are reputable, and they will make sure that you get a very good deal on your package. So I got the offer, and it was for 10,500 riyals a month in a neurosurgery department or unit, should I say. And I went into Saudi Arabia not having ever traveled in my life, never been on an aeroplane, and there I was going from Durban to Saudi Arabia for the first time ever in my life. So I started my contract on the 14th of February 2006, and it was just the most amazing experience that I've ever had in my life. So there I am now. I go through the orientation and I get to my unit that I'm working in, and I see this most amazing theaters that are beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you would see in South Africa. So the hospital that I worked in was part of the MOH, and it was a government hospital or a state hospital, and they heavily invest in technology, they heavily invest in their staff, they heavily invest in their outcomes. And that for me was a very refreshing thing to see. Now I'm going to be speaking from my experience. Other people have different experiences from working in different hospitals. It's never the same, right? So like I said, now I'm in the neurosurgery theaters. I get to see how things are done. I go through the orientation process, and I'm just absolutely blown away. I am fearful at the same time because I'm not sure whether my education or my experience, my South African experience, is equivalent or it will be enough to do what I was there to do. Very early on, I got thrown into the deep end. There was only one neuroscrub sister at that point, because the hospital was relatively new. It was just starting to function, and yes, there was few staff. So this lady tells me that, okay, you're going to do this case, and I go in and I do this case, and after that case I hear nothing. And the next day she takes me around to the doctor's rooms and introduces me, and everybody's like, oh yeah, we heard about her. The doctor was just singing her praises. We're so happy to have her on our team. And it was the beginning of the rest of my life. The wow moment of it all is when you get now fully fledged into the theater or into the unit that you're working in, and you realize the mindset and the quality of work that they expect out of you. It is absolutely amazing. So if you're somebody that likes to be stretched, absolutely, without a doubt, go out there and find yourself, and you will definitely find yourself. So I found myself in the neurosurgery theaters, and it was actually a unit on its own. It was called Neuroscience Department, and in there you get stretched, you get pulled, you learn so much. Technology is beyond your imagination. I've never seen a 3D microscope. I saw it in Saudi Arabia. I didn't know what intraoperative MRI is. I didn't know what intraoperative CT was, but I learned all that in Saudi Arabia while I was there. And unfortunately, that was in 2006, and that technology has now come to South Africa around about 2016, 2017, round about there. Whereas I've already experienced that kind of technology way back in 2006, 2007, 2008. I'll just tell you a short story. Came back to South Africa now in 2009, 2010, and I go into a neurosurgery theater in South Africa. I know how to read a CT. I know how to read an MRI scan because I learned that in Saudi Arabia. The doctor puts up the CT scan and he's like, okay, we're doing a tumor resection. And I'm like, that is not actually a tumor. It's got a cystic component to it because there's fluid. And he looks at me and he's like, how do you know? And I'm like, okay, it is what it is. So we open up, we do the surgery, we open up, we get to the tumor, and out sprouts this water or this fluid that was in the so-called tumor. Now, if you've never been appreciated for what you do, if you've just always known that you are part of a team, yes, you're good, yes, you're all of the above, but nobody actually tells you that, when you get to Saudi, that is all you get all the time. You get a thank you for making sure that the theater runs smoothly for the whole day. You get a thank you for surgery that went well and ended at 3 o'clock in the morning. You get a thank you for your input. You get a thank you for whatever you do. That's how much they appreciate people that come there and work and give their best and actually dedicate themselves to their jobs. I was one of those people that was constantly thanked, and it was something new because in South Africa, we really don't thank each other. We don't show appreciation for each other. And that boosted my confidence like you will not believe. From then onwards, I was not fearful anymore. I did my research as much as I possibly could for the surgery that was going to be done. Execution, on point, no mistakes, getting it right. And the only reason why you can only get it right is because the procedures themselves, when there's a surgery that is going to be done, the planning that goes into each and every surgery is mind-blowing. That is the excellence that I talk about when I talk about nursing being mediocre in South Africa, because of the experiences that I experienced abroad, So the most important thing about going to Saudi Arabia is you need to have a game plan. You need to know exactly why you're going, because it is very difficult to be there, because you've displaced your family, you've displaced yourself, you've displaced your environment completely. My motivation and my reasoning was to get money to buy my mother her house and to save some money. In Saudi, I was earning 10,000 riyals, and the exchange rate was 1:3. For every riyal, it was 3 rand. To put it into perspective, what your salary or your earnings can do when you are in Saudi and when you're committed and when you have a vision. Within 6 months of me being in Saudi Arabia for the first time, I eventually paid off my mother's house within 6 months. When I came back to South Africa, I did an absolute renovation on my mother's property, and that for me was what I wanted to do. It was what my deepest desire was, and Saudi Arabia actually made it possible for me to do that. So now I'm back in South Africa. I'm earning 12,000, 15,000, depending on how many shifts I am taking. And it's just not good. It doesn't make sense for me. And then I went back to Saudi a second time. The second time I went to Saudi Arabia, I got motivation from the doctors in the unit that I worked in. So I actually went back to the exact same hospital, to the same department. This time I was offered a contract salary package of 11,500 when I started, and they did some restructuring within the first 6 months, where they took your experience into consideration, and I went from 11,100 to 16,000 reals. And in this time, bear in mind, we were having some issues in South Africa where President Mbeki was told to leave, so the rand was really doing badly, and we reaped the benefits of that, because at that point the rand was like 1:5 or 1:4, so we were sending home like 4 times what we were earning at that point, and that really boosted my finances going forward into the rest of my life. So for the next 2 years, for the second time I went to Saudi Arabia, the main aim was to save money. I wanted to save money, come back to South Africa, and be comfortable with earning 12,000, 15,000, or whatever the case may be. That was fine as long as I had money in the bank for emergencies, for other things that needed to be done. And that is where I made the most money out of. And putting that money into perspective, the last bit of the Saudi Arabia money that I'd saved, I used for my daughter's 3rd year, which was last year. So I used the last part of my earnings in 2009 in 2019. So it lasted me a full 10 years. So that is exactly what nursing abroad can do for you. If you have a vision, if you want to stick to your vision, regardless of what happens, there's a lot of things that happen. You will see in another video of mine exactly what happened when I came back to Saudi the second time. But despite all those obstacles, I stuck it out, and I did when I reached my plateau of what I wanted to come home with, the amount of money that I wanted in my bank account, I came home, and I've subsequently survived for 10 years. I mean, I've been working, but the last bit of the money that I earned in Saudi Arabia was eventually spent out last year. And that is what Saudi Arabia can do for you. That is what the UK can do for you. If you want to grow yourself, number 1, if you want to be financially secure, number 2, please look into working abroad. I thoroughly enjoyed my experience in Saudi Arabia. It made me a totally different neuroscrub. I don't know what the landscape is going to look like after the situation that we've been in worldwide, but if the opportunities do arise for you to go abroad, please take it with both hands. Don't think about it, pray about it, and do it anyway, because inevitably you will come out of it much better for it. I have. It's worked for me, and there's a few other colleagues that I have, that I know of, that have worked abroad, and they've come back to South Africa, and their lives are totally changed, completely changed. And I am eternally grateful for the opportunity that was given to me to work in Saudi Arabia, to make the changes in my life, personally and professionally at the same time. So if you enjoyed this video, thank you very, very, very much. If you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to send them to me. I will be more than happy to do another video. If you want to know about, if you are interested to know what is the procedure that you need to follow in order for you to go abroad, please, I can also do that for you if you comment down below. But please like, share, subscribe, and thank you very much for sharing space with me this time. I will see you in the next video. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.